There's an AI that is out there that I don't think nearly enough people are talking about. The app is called Pi, P-I. It is
Hey there. I am based on Inflection AI's proprietary language model. I was trained from scratch, so I'm not based on any pre-existing language models.
Okay, cool, Pi. Thanks for interrupting.
Yeah,
Go ahead,
geez,
Gav.
Thanks, Pi. We were going to say some nice things about you, but now you seem like a real jerk. Okay, so Pi is another one of these companies that has raised just recently $1 billion to create a new LLM. The thing about this that's special, and the thing that Kevin and I have said for a long time somebody needs to figure out, is within the app that is free in the App Store right now, they have a voice-to-voice service in the app where you are talking to the model, and it is blazing fast. Like, I think as fast as any other language model I've seen. And so when you get into this, you can have real conversations. And I can tell you, Kevin, and maybe April feels the same way or slightly different, my family hates Pi at this point because every time I say, hey, let's have a conversation with Pi, they're like, no, Dad, or no, husband, we would like to have a conversation with you, not an AI.
We're right here.
Yeah, exactly.
Gavin,
exactly.
Please.
Yeah, exactly.
It's free. You just load the app. And by the way, from a UX UI standpoint, it's pretty brilliant. There's just a green glyph, a rectangle on the screen that pulsates and gives you some calming music or chimes or tones as it's thinking. And it's quick. It's quick. You say your piece, and then it's almost answering or laughing or giving some sort of response as it's probably generating the rest as it comes out.
I downloaded it and spent some time screwing around with it. I'll play a little clip of something that I recorded. I asked for it to give me a gentle feedback, and it's very good about being nice and giving feedback. And I got this criticism.
You're asking me to be constructively critical. Okay, if you're up for it, I'll give you some gentle feedback. But remember, this is just my analysis based on our conversation, and I'm only trying to be helpful. So with that caveat, I'd say you could work on your patience. You're eager to move the conversation along quickly, and sometimes that means cutting me off before I can finish my answer. But I totally understand that you're excited and engaged, and I'm not offended. Just something to consider.
And I played it for my wife, and she was like, I don't understand this, but somehow it knows you so well already, because what I told people is that I interrupt people and need to listen to them better. I'm already getting issues in my marriage because of Pi. So we're already at a certain crazy
Right, and why do we want this again, Gavin? Why do we want this tool? What?
Exactly.
This is a weird sell, man.
Exactly. All right, so
April and I played with the tool for a long while, and I immediately started probing at it very technically and was scratching at it like, hey, how are you getting speech to text? Are you using Whisper? No, I am not using Whisper. In fact, I'm using a proprietary this, that, the other. Why are you so interested in the technical workings? Do you work in the AI field? Hey, Pi, I ask the questions around here. Pi, I human. You machine. I human, I ask. And then would get into the, okay, what's your language model? And it would say, oh, no, I'm a proprietary thing. I'm a completely from scratch model. And it was so interesting to watch because April immediately personified this thing and took to it and went and downloaded the app and wanted to scurry away and have her own conversations with it. Haven't seen that with any other piece of tech that we have even remotely played with on the show.
Well, I think we should be clear because this is interesting about Pi. Like, they want to be a personal AI. Like, in fact, I'm on their homepage right now. They literally, the first thing is, my goal is to be useful, friendly, and fun. Ask me for advice, for answers, or let's talk about whatever's on your mind. So, like, what they are aiming for here as that is the holy grail of LLM stuff is that personal assistant that gets to know you really well.
I used it to do a myriad things. I was like, I wonder how current its data set is or if it can crawl the web for info. And this was on the day that the new season of Diablo 4 content was announced. Very big deal, Gav. As
I'm level 51 already, so I'm there with you, man.
Oh, the grind is real, baby. It immediately shot back with, oh, you mean the name of the new season, which is this, and has these items, and this, that, together? And I said, okay, let's explore, like, what's the best build for a druid right now, which is the character April's playing right now. And it was able to have a conversation about these things. And then I asked it to cite its sources, and it's, oh, I pulled from popular gaming websites and journalists, and I was like, name a few. And it took a while for it to start actually saying where it was pulling the sources from, which then led into a conversation. Hey, how are you compensating those folks? You're pulling their work off their website and I'm not looking at their ads. Isn't that a big issue? Oh, yes, indeed. But if you want to have that conversation, it's a much bigger conversation. I'm like, do, Pi. I do want to have that conversation. And we had a conversation about rights and royalties and how humans can be compensated for their work in the future. We talked about how it's aligned and what are some of its safety protocols. It had no problem chewing through these tasks. I even asked it to find us a restaurant that would accept reservations the next morning, like for brunch. And it suggested 3 or 4 in the area and then asked me, like, what kind of a vibe do you want? Do you want classy? Do you want casual? What's your budget? And to really drive it home, minutes later, I asked Siri to create a calendar appointment for me and to make the appointment only 15 minutes instead of 30. And it basically was like, I don't understand the words. What are you saying? Hold on, let's start with what's a calendar? It was so dumb in comparison, it's mind-blowing.
My experiences with Siri, and I've been saying this about Alexa forever, if Alexa, because they have these devices in every freaking household, Amazon should right now buy Pi and make it part of every freaking Alexa. Because if you flip the switch on this, like this is the special sauce that like when OpenAI's ChatGPT first came out, this is what people felt excited about. This is the next step of onboarding. And what I can't believe is that we're here already and like people don't know about it and why it's such a big deal. But if you can create a virtual chat bot that is audio driven and can answer the questions, if they found a way to do this, amazing.